Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to do something that might sound a little bit crazy. We are going to try and make sense of the incredibly complex world of financial news by looking at just one single day's worth of headlines.
Just take a look at this. This is what you're up against on any given day in the financial news. It's a wall of text, right? It's just a fire hose of information, earnings reports, company partnerships, buyouts. It's a total overload of jargon and company names you've probably never even heard of.
It's so easy to get lost in all that noise and just completely tune it out. But what if I told you that hidden inside all of this chaos are the actual blueprints for our future? So the big question is, what does this all really mean? What are the stories the market is trying to tell us? Let's dive in and see if we can figure it out. To get a handle on it all, we've done the hard work for you. We've sifted through all that noise and pulled out 5 major themes that just kept popping up. We're going to look at the sheer scale of one day in the market, then the incredible rise of AI factories, how space is turning into big business, why companies are always buying each other, and finally, we'll take a peek at the future of money itself.
Okay, first up, let's just try to get a handle on the sheer scale of what we're looking at. Because before we can find the stories, we really need to appreciate the amount of information that is hitting us every single day. On this one particular day, there were 578 different news items published. And think about that for a second. That's not just 578 headlines, it's 578 signals, individual little pieces of a giant puzzle about where companies are putting their money, where the real innovation is happening, and what the economy of tomorrow is actually going to look like. So let's jump into our first huge story, the one that was practically screaming from the data, the rise of AI factories. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is no longer just some buzzword. It is quickly becoming a massive, foundational industry. Now, to really get this, we need to understand a term that we saw over and over, the AI factory. I want you to picture a traditional factory, one that makes cars or phones. Well, an AI factory does the exact same thing, but instead of physical goods, its product is intelligence. It's all the massive infrastructure, the data centers, the powerful computer chips that you need to build and train powerful new AI. Here's a perfect example of how this whole system works, pulled right from the day's news. A new partnership lays it all out in 3 simple steps. Step 1, you've got the brains. That's a company like NVIDIA, making the super powerful chips that are really the engine of AI. Step 2 is the factory, built by a company like CoreWeave, which takes all those chips and puts them into huge data centers. And then finally, step 3, you get the products from companies like SEAL-SQ, which use all that AI power to create amazing things like intelligent robots. But here's what's truly fascinating. This isn't just a tech story. On this exact same day, we saw Wells Fargo appointing a new head of AI products. We saw the Home Depot launching an AI tool to help builders. And Cisco reported that because of AI, companies are having to invest way more in data privacy. So the real signal here isn't just that AI is a big deal, it's that it's being woven into the very fabric of our economy, banking, retail, security. It's starting to touch absolutely everything. Okay, so from building intelligence here on Earth, our next theme actually takes us up to the stars. It's become crystal clear from the headlines that space is rapidly becoming big business. For decades, right, space was pretty much just for governments. But the headlines from that day tell a completely different story. We had Rocket Lab announcing new hardware for its big Neutron rocket. We saw Telesat signing a deal for next-generation space tech. And Voyager's Science Park signed an agreement directly with NASA. This is a huge signal. The private sector is now building a real commercial economy in orbit. All right, bringing it back down to Earth, our third theme is all about growth. Not by building something brand new, but by buying something that already exists. Let's talk about companies buying other companies. The official term for this is an acquisition, and it's one of the most fundamental moves in the business world. One company buys another one to instantly get its technology, or its customers, or access to a new country. Really, it's often the fastest way to get bigger and stronger fast. We found a perfect example of this from our single day of news. A company called Betterware, which is based in Mexico, paid $250 million to buy the Latin American business of Tupperware. I mean, it's a classic play, right? You instantly get that huge brand recognition and a massive new sales network. And this wasn't some one-off event. On that same day, Core & Main, a company that distributes waterworks supplies, bought one of its competitors.
A pharmaceutical company that specializes in rare diseases bought another biotech farm, and the investment giant Blackstone announced it was buying Arlington Industries. So from water pipes to medicine to finance, everybody was making deals.
All right, our final theme is a big one. It's about a technology that could fundamentally change something that every single one of us uses every single day: money.
And the key concept here is tokenization. Now, this might sound complicated, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It's the process of taking an asset, like a dollar or a share of stock, and converting the rights to that asset into a secure digital token on a blockchain. This could make it way easier to trade, to track, and to manage ownership of things.
And this isn't just a theory. On that very same day, a headline announced that 3 financial companies, United Security Bank Shares, Uphold, and Vast Bank, were partnering up to do exactly this. They're working on creating tokenized bank deposits, which is a huge, real step towards making our traditional financial system more digital and a whole lot more efficient.
Okay, so we've looked at AI, space, acquisitions, and digital money. After digging through all 578 of those news items, what does one day of financial news actually tell us about our world? Well, the really crucial point is this. When you filter out all the daily noise and start looking for the patterns, you see the bigger story. 4 powerful trends just jump right out. AI is becoming the new engine of the economy. Space is officially open for business. Growth through acquisition is still a powerful force. And the very nature of money itself is evolving right before our eyes. It really shows that financial news isn't just about boring numbers and stock prices. It's a live, real-time story of human innovation, of ambition. From the AI factories being built today to the tokenized dollars we might all be using tomorrow, a single day of news, if you just know how to read it, reveals the blueprints of our economic future. The only question left is, what other stories are hiding out there in plain sight?